So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about what does Dan Pena mean when he says pay price to action. So this happened when I just came out of his Castle seminar. I've done two of his seminars. One of them is called Quantum Leap Advantage and the other one is called Quantum Leap Advantage Hardcore. I did both of these seminars in 2019, and within the seminar, he kept referring to this concept called as pay price to action. And it seemed very simple to me, but I did not fully understand the meaning behind it and the context behind it. And it was only after I started to execute on the steps that I fully understood the depth of what he was talking about. And it wasn't as simple as it sounded like. It was a little more complex. There was a whole world inside of what he just said, pay price to action. And so I'm going to be breaking this down in this video so that you are able to actually take action on your dreams and you're able to evaluate the costs that are linked to achieving your dreams, because I naively thought that there isn't going to be any cost. I thought that I will be able to get, everything I want, or I will be able to get everything. But you tend to get what you deeply desire and what you're committed to. You don't get everything, but you get what you committed to, you get what you dream about if you're committed to that dream. And there is always something that you let go when you are pursuing your dreams. So I started to confront this as I was taking action, because while I was making the phone calls, while I was talking to the board members, while I was talking to the banks, while I was meeting the sellers, I saw, I saw this I noticed that my mother is waiting for me in the living room. She wants to have a conversation with me and she's getting old. I started to notice that I'm slowly aging, right? And I am, right now about 30 years old, and slowly time is passing by. And my friends are expecting my phone call and I'm not calling them. And I keep finding myself saying no to things. And as I say no to things, I feel guilty that I'm not going to those events, those social gatherings, to meet my friends. I'm missing birthdays. I'm missing so many things. And I started to really understand what pay price to action means. Is that in order to accomplish my goals, these are the things that I will have to let go. And I have to come to terms with the fact that I have decided to live an extraordinary life. I'm not somebody who's a normal person. I'm not somebody who goes to the normal things. And if you want that extraordinary life, that extraordinary dream life where you are traveling around in helicopters or, driving supercars or acquiring big companies, doing big deals, there are things that you would have to let go. Because anytime you sit down to do something, there is a whole bunch of things that you're not doing. There is a whole world of things that you are saying no to by default. And that is the price that you pay to take this action. And that's why a lot of the people struggle with procrastination, or that's one of the reasons why people feel the pain when they're taking action. And I was like, why am I feeling this pain? I'm just getting on a phone call with someone. Why do I feel this pain in my chest? Why do I have this feeling of guilt? Why do I have this feeling of regret? What's happening? Why do I have these toxic emotions boiling in me as I'm taking action? I'm just calling some people. And I realized that it's the things that I am avoiding in that moment that is putting my attention, taking my attention away from work. For example, as I mentioned, my mother waiting in the living room because she wanted to talk to me, and she is not coming in the room because she knows I'm working, and she's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I started to see faces of my friends that I'm not talking to, And there is just so many things that so many travel destinations I wanted to visit. I'm seeing putting all of that on the side to talk to this individual that is in front of me right now. And that can get extremely confronting. And if you haven't sat down with yourself and really evaluated your dreams, that is this something I really want? Because there will be things that I would be saying no to. There may be financial costs involved. There may be financial risks involved. There may be personal risks involved. There may be time that is involved. Because with commitment, you have to put in the time. So I'm putting all of this on the line. Do I really, really want this? And I wish I had done this evaluation. And this is what he wants us to do, is to sit down and take a hard look at our dreams and really look into it. That do you want this or not? Because if you don't want, if you don't really make that decision, then other things will take priority. And you can see this with people around you who don't have goals. They keep saying yes to things because they don't have a vision. So they keep saying yes to anything that comes their way. Yeah, why not? Let's go have a coffee together. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And people love them because they're always willing to, they're just available to go to wherever anybody asks them to go. And the reason they do this is because they don't have a dream, a compelling dream. If you have a compelling dream, and if you've broken it down, and if you're really written it down, what exactly you have to do, the moment you write it down on a piece of paper, you know you're short on time. You know you are behind. And you have to say no to a lot of the things. And that becomes the price that you pay for the life that you live. You know, as in Godfather 3, when Al Pacino is giving away the power to Andy Garcia, you know, in the movie, Michael Corleone is giving to Vincent. He says, Vincent asks him, command me on all of the things. Give me all of the power of the whole, give me all the control of the family. And he says, okay, fine, I will, but you stay away from my daughter. You would have to forget about her. And then he pauses for a second and he says, that's the price you pay for the life you live. And that's the funny dichotomy or funny dilemma that you would find yourself, where you would have to choose between power and love. You would have to choose between being rich, being extraordinary, and the ordinary mundane things, you know, smelling the roses, having that coffee, having a chat with a friend. You can choose that life, or you could choose the extraordinary. At some point, you would be at a crossroads with the things that you once did, with people who once were close to you. You would find yourself in a crossroads with them, and you would have to take a decision. And actually, you would have to cut them off from your life eventually, if you really are serious about your dreams, or you would have to cut your dreams off to spend your time with them, which will be fine, because then they are more important to you than your dreams, and they are part of your dreams, so it's fine. But there's always something that you're giving up, whether you are aware of it or not. When you say yes to a friend, you're saying no to a whole lot of things. And when you're saying yes to doing the work, you're also saying no to a lot of other things. And initially, you would feel the pain that you're paying a price, and you're paying a big price to take this action. So that's the pay price to action. There's always a price to pay. Either it's going to be time or money. And with every action you take, you're infusing your life into that thing that you're performing. So it's your life's work. It's your life's craft. So you're infusing life into every phone call, every relationship, and you're not going to get that back. And that is the pay price to action. And you're not giving that attention, that time, that energy to anything else. So it's a conscious decision where you decide what is my dream, and you decide to say no to everything else other than what's related to your dream. And initially it can be painful, but then as you see your dream happening, you understand, I see, this is why I did it. I understand why I said no to party, why I said no to going to those places. This is the reason. When you'd be sitting in your penthouse, hopefully, and you would be looking and you'd be like, I get it. And then when you would see yourself in a nice 3-piece suit and you see your old friends and they're living mediocre lives, you'll feel proud of yourself that you didn't make the choices that they did. And so pay price to action initially can be painful, but create a scenario over 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you will realize the full consequence of your actions, and you will know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. So that's my perspective of what Dan Pena means by pay price to action. I'll talk to you soon.